Alright, people. It's been a long month, going into this new year, man. And I've been trying to figure out what do I start first? What do I put my most dedicated time towards? How do I perform at the top level of this while doing this simultaneously and really just going through the motions? But as we go into the month of February, I realized it's never going to happen unless I just start going, So I'm out here, on the mountains, and took a nice little hike. I even brought my walking stick, which I feel like is a sign of the prophetic declaration on my life. Big words. But I'm gonna keep it light. I really feel like going forward with a YouTube channel and trying to share my experiences and the wisdom, the understanding that I've been blessed to receive, through experience as well as through other teachers. And of course, I chose a place where planes fly over. It is what it is. That I don't want to try to come off as your pastor, man. I just want to share with you what it is that God shares with me. You know what I'm saying? Brother to brother, brother to sister, big brother to little brother. You know what I mean? However it goes. Big brother to little sister, so on and so forth. So what I really want to talk about right now is when we begin to recast vision, right? You've sat, you've planned, you've even began to visualize, you see how things are supposed to go. You can explain it, amazing, yet you're not getting anywhere, you know what I mean? And maybe you're even putting in an amount of work that you feel should have some type of outcome. There should be something that's coming from this. I should be reaping some type of benefit, whether it's monetary, whether it's, some type of following that you're trying to get, maybe it's just inside, but you're not getting that. And so it's kind of just like taking time to realign how is it that we're coming at things? How is it that that we're perceiving what our input is versus the output that we've expected that we're not getting? And so, I kind of wanted to start there, man. Like last year was very rough. 2021 was a very difficult year for me. A lot of things happened that I did not expect or ever thought would happen. And it put me in a position where I had to redefine myself. You know what I mean? I had to really dig deep and see if who I was saying I was is who I was. And the parts that were not real, the parts that were just propped up, they fell apart. And then I had to start rebuilding myself based on the materials, speaking of character, integrity, moral, the materials that I had to build with that. And it was definitely less material than I thought. And so here we are in 2022, and I'm on the mountaintop and I'm speaking to you, because there's somebody out there. I don't know who you are yet, but there's somebody out there that needs to hear what I have to say, right? So when we're realigning or when we're redefining ourselves or our paths, we have to be very transparent. We have to be very transparent. It's too easy to belittle yourself. It's too easy to be too full of yourself and kind of miss the reality that's there. We talk about people being prideful and not being down to earth, but at the same time, there's people that look at themselves as so much lower than what they are. And that's just as big as a problem. So trying to find an honest way to gauge where we're at in the process of who we're becoming God definitely has your identity in mind and in his heart, and he continuously reveals it to you, and it's greater than what you perceive yourself to be. And so as we're walking that path, right, and we start, like I said in the beginning, we're starting to see what it's supposed to look like. We can almost touch, taste, and feel what it's supposed to be, yet it's not there. We start off with a reality check of looking at things. While you may feel as if you're working hard, it may not be enough. It may not be in the right area of life. You may not be skilled enough for the amount of work that you're putting in to produce the outcome that you desire. So we have to really start to analyze these things. Stop forcing things. Stop forcing things. A square peg in a round hole, right? That's what they say when we start trying to force things to be. Don't force things to be. We definitely put in work, and work is not always easy, but we don't force things, right? We look at the reality of the situation and work accordingly to what it is. So whatever your desire, your vision is at this time, it's time for us to take a measuring stick, if you will, and see exactly how far realistically we are from that. How many steps is it going to take, right? Okay, I want to be here. Okay, what's the halfway mark look like? Okay, what's the quarter mark look like? Okay, at the quarter mark of where I'm trying to be, all right, how long will it realistically take me to get there? Okay, what's the first step to getting moving, period? Okay, what's the level of consistency that I'm going to have to keep up in order for me to stay energized and satisfied in my progress to keep going? Because that's another big problem. We start moving so slow that we lose all desire. We lose all passion in it because we're not seeing anything come out of it because we're not moving fast enough. Or we're moving too fast, right? And everything's not set in place. So therefore, we don't actually get the desired outcome that way either. So there's always this beautiful path, and it's amazing because, Jesus said the narrow road, right? The broad road, that's where everybody goes. But the narrow road is the path that should be chosen, right? And I'm paraphrasing. But the narrow road is the path that should be chosen. And that's where you're going to find that delicate balance of how things should be. There's going to be peace in it. However, there's going to be hard work as well, right? And like I said before, hard work is something that is going to take something out of you. It's going to take effort. There's going to be times of frustration. We don't just give up because there's times of frustration. That means that there's a learning curve that we now have to figure out how to get around. And we have to learn something new to get past that step. And so, just the start of my first video, I want us to go into the next day of our life, every day of our life, with this in mind. Because everybody has a goal. Everybody has a dream. Everybody has a vision. Everybody has an idea of who they are and who they want to be. And the only thing that's keeping us from that is walking the path to get there. Right? Don't be afraid. Do not be afraid to step out on that path. You start to look in too far off into these mountains and you'll never take the first step. Let's move accordingly, right? So if I measure how far those mountains are, and then I know the halfway point, and then I go a quarter point, I go, how long does it take me to get to that quarter point? Then I know, oh dang, that's like 10 hours for me to get there, to get to the quarter point. So I'm like, wow, this is going to be a 40-hour journey. Okay, that's almost 2 days right? And if I'm stopping and taking breaks and stuff, it is 2 days. Now I have a better measurement of what type of effort it's going to take. And if I want it to happen in less than 2 days, then I know that I have to put some pep in my step. And then I have to, figure out what I'm going to need to be able to keep up a faster pace to get there. But again, guys, we're all here for a reason. There's a purpose for your life. You're not an accident. It's not a coincidence that you find yourself in certain situations, right? And we'll go through in different videos breaking cycles and bad habits and choices. And we'll go into, different things, how we can alleviate what's bad. But right now, we're talking about what needs to be put into play. And that's what it needs to be. And this is my first step in doing that. I just had to step out, okay? I don't know if the mic sounds perfect. I don't know if I'm standing in the best spot. You know what I mean? This is all just trial and error. But as long as I respect the learning curve and don't allow frustration to make me quit, I can keep going with you guys. And we can keep growing together. And we can create a network of people who are consistently pushing for growth. You know what I mean? And so, man, I just pray that you have hope and that you be blessed, and that you look forward with joy to the task before you. Solomon says in Ecclesiastes, there's nothing good but the good labor that God set before you to do. And again, I'm paraphrasing. And what that means to me, because he likes to use a term called vanity and grasping of the wind. And you try to grab the wind, and there's nothing there. It's all vanity. It's all in vain, except for the good labor that God has set for you to do, right? So we got to move in purpose. And this is our opportunity to do so. My name is Apostle Raw, and I look forward to chiming in with you guys a lot more. You have a wonderful day, and I'll see you soon. Peace.